Hey guys, what's up? So if you think skipping your workouts is harmless because you're not an athlete, think again. Because in this video, I'm going to break down why avoiding exercise is not a badge of honor. It's a long-term health risk, from muscle loss and metabolic slowdown to Alzheimer's disease, dementia, prevention, and emotional resilience. Movement is not optional. It is part of being a human being. I'm also going to share how strength training and walking have completely transformed not just my body, but my brain, my relationships, and my confidence. So hey guys, welcome to the channel. If you are new here, I am Jules and I have lost over 50 pounds with the help of a GLP-1. Yes, I am still on a weekly shot, 12.5 milligrams of Zepbound. And today I want to talk to you about something that some of you need to hear. And I'm going to say this with love, care, and compassion. However, we have glorified not moving for way too long. People in this community and other communities have bragged that they have lost weight without doing any exercise, without doing any movement, without doing anything other than just changing up whatever they're eating or their nutrition. And that is not something to be proud of. It really is not. It's actually really dangerous because you may lose weight, but you're also going to lose muscle and bone density, confidence, and long term, it is really going to set you up for diseases, lower metabolism. You're not going to feel as energetic in your body. And so I want to flip that mindset. I want to, in this video, possibly motivate those people out there that might be listening to this message and saying, I'm not an athlete, or I don't like exercise, or I don't really enjoy doing X, Y, or Z. And this video is for you who are doing those things, because you're gonna probably sit there and go, yes, I do that. And wow, I didn't know that all of these things had such a major positive impact on not just my life today, but they're gonna set me up for all of these wonderful, amazing things in the future. So if you are someone that has said, I don't like working out, or I'm not an exercise person, stick with this video. Stick with me, because I promise you at the end, you are going to get motivated. You will be inspired to at least try and do something at the end of this video. I am going to share the science. I'm going to share my own story. I'm going to share how fitness and movement have changed everything for me. My metabolism, my mood, my anxiety, my confidence, my purpose, my relationships. So before we jump in, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button so you always know when the next video will be coming. My goal is to help you not just lose weight, but to build a life that is strong, powerful, peaceful, and purposeful. So let's start with mindset, because this is where the vast majority of people get stuck, me included. When you say, I hate exercise, or I hate doing something in particular movement, or whatever it might be, you're basically telling your brain that movement is punishment. You're telling yourself a story, and your brain and your nervous system, they will believe whatever story it is you tell it, they will believe it. They don't know what's true and what's not true. So you're going to create an association. It's a neural association between your brain and your nervous system that movement equals punishment. It's something negative. So maybe this started out when you were young, you're a kid, you're in school, gym class, and exercise meant running laps as punishment. Remember when the gym teacher would like, oh, you're talking, go run a lap, right? Like it's perceived as punishment. Maybe it came from crash dieting. Maybe it came from, you're a Gen Xer and, grew up in that time where, running and cardio and all this crazy stuff was a punishment. It was the only, it was what you had to do to get skinny or lean or lose weight. But here's the thing, movement isn't punishment. It's power and it's empowerment. Humans are designed to move. Your body is not meant to sit all day. I work in the corporate arena. I see people all day long. I work from home. I'm on video. And I see people who brag about sitting at their desks for like 8 hours straight, or only taking a bathroom break for like 2 minutes and coming back and then sitting there for hours and hours and hours. And they brag about that like it's a badge of honor. And I mean, adults today are spending 8 to 10 hours a day just sitting. Desks, cars, couches, we go from one to the next, and we're just never moving. So you wonder why we're tired, our joints hurt, we're getting muscle spasms, we're just achy and inflamed and having just anxiety and just all the things. Movement isn't just physical, it's a chemical reaction. So every time you move, you release myokines. These are really powerful anti-inflammatory proteins from your muscles that help you, your brain, your immune system, and even your mood. So in fact, there are studies out there that show that exercise is kind of like the Miracle-Gro back in the day. Remember that Miracle-Gro stuff? It's kind of like that for your brain. It literally helps you to grow new brain cells, especially in the hippocampus. That is the area that's responsible for memory and your mood. So when you say, I hate working out, what you're really saying is, I hate the discomfort. I hate being uncomfortable. And with that discomfort, you're gonna grow into a better version of yourself. So yeah, movement, exercise, strength training, it's not comfortable. But we know that being comfortable means you're not growing, right? If you're just complacent, you're just gonna stay exactly where you are. You're not gonna evolve, you're not gonna grow. In order to grow and evolve and become a new, better version of yourself, you need to put yourself into a little bit of discomfort. And once you realize that, that changes everything. Let's talk about longevity. Aging gracefully, it's not just about having good genes. That's a piece of it. But it's more about all of the habits and all of the choices that you have made year over year, day over day, that get you there. So I just recently watched an amazing video that I will put into the description box. And it was a video about senior athletes who were anywhere between in their 60s all the way up to their 90s. They were competing in sports. And they had, some of them were not competitive athletes when they were younger. They didn't start off that way. They entered this in their 60s or their 70s or beyond. They were competing in swimming, powerlifting, running, track. They were smiling. They were energetic. They were vibrant. It was so inspiring to watch them. They looked so much younger than their age. They moved better. How they communicated, they were sharp. And it hit me watching this. These people weren't lucky. They didn't hit the lucky gene lottery. They made choices and they kept showing up. and they did not stop moving because they got busy or they got old or something hurt. Because they will even say in this video, hey, it's uncomfortable, or I don't like getting in the swimming pool, it's really cold. But once I make myself get in, I eventually acclimate and I feel amazing when I get out. That was said by a woman that's in her 90s. And that, if these people can do it, then we absolutely can do it if we're in our 30s, 40s, 50s. Like, there is absolutely no excuse for us to not move if these folks are saying that they can do it. There is so much research that show that people who engage in consistent resistance training, even just twice a week, have significantly lower mortality rates. Their muscle is helping them to live longer. It's not just for looks. It's protective tissue. So let's talk about muscle for a second. Okay, this is really important. So starting in your 30s, we lose anywhere between 3 to 8% of our muscle per decade if we are inactive. That's called sarcopenia, wasting of muscle, losing muscle. And it's a silent killer because muscle it's not just about strength. It is your metabolism. It helps your balance, keeps you independent, will help with your longevity, your health span. You know those stories of older people who fall down and break a hip. Do they recover fully? Most of them do not recover fully. So it's not just about age. Muscle loss is significant and it's preventable. When you lift weights, you're not just building a stronger body, you're building the body for your future self. So let's talk about what happens if you don't move. So when you stop challenging your body, your metabolism will slow down. Your mitochondria, which is your body's energy engines, they become less efficient. Your insulin sensitivity will drop. Your blood sugar will rise. Your brain starts to get duller, a little more foggy. Inactivity increases your risk of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer, and Alzheimer's. But here's the most crazy, amazing, fascinating part. It also accelerates aging at a cellular level. Studies show that people who engage in regular movement, in some sort of regular exercise, they have longer telomeres. Those are the little caps at the end of your DNA that determine your biological age. So the longer your telomeres, the younger your cells function. So exercise doesn't just make you feel younger, it literally keeps your cells younger. And movement is not limited to the gym. I work out exclusively from home. You can go for a walk, stretch, dance, garden, vacuum your house. Those are all forms of exercise and they all count. Every step you take, every squat, every lift, every push-up, it's a signal to your body that I'm still using this. Don't let your body decay. Your body's simple rule is use it or lose it. So let me tell you a little bit about me and my story. When I began taking a GLP-1 medication back in 2022, it helped me quiet the food noise, but that's not enough. I realized that I needed to be more dialed in and more consistent with my movement, with walking or running or whatever it is that I wanted to do in terms of my step count. And I did start running and then I transitioned over to walking and then I added in a weighted vest. And I was always strength training, but now I did it more consistently. I did it with more intention. I was doing it with more what's called progressive overload, meaning I wanted to continually send a signal to my muscle to say, grow. I want you to continue to grow. and not just get complacent. Because if you continue to do the same thing over and over and over again, and you never change anything up, your body adapts, becomes used to it, and that's it. It doesn't continue to grow anymore. So I kept showing up. And every time I picked up those dumbbells, I reminded myself, I am building the body of my future. I'm building my brain. I am lowering my anxiety. Every time I did something, everything changes. My energy changed, my posture, my mood, my mindset. Now, I do not work out because I feel like I have to, because I need to be in a certain body. I work out because of how it makes me feel. I work out because I know that I am setting myself up for a great future. Because if I don't use it, I am going to lose it. And I don't work out to burn calories. I don't ever count my workouts in my calories. That's separate completely. I do it because it makes me sharper at work. I'm more patient with people. I'm more confident. I'm more relaxed. I'm more calm. It gives me more energy, and it just is more emotionally grounding. Strength training has given me strength that goes so far beyond the gym. And now at 54, I feel stronger and more athletic than I have ever in my entire life. So exercise, it's not just physical, it's emotional therapy. Every rep, every set, every walk, every step, it clears your head. Movement releases endorphins, dopamine, serotonin. These are the same chemicals that are used in most antidepressants, and they are designed to create a boost, an elevation. When you move, your brain clears up, that fogginess clears up. You get more energetic. You feel better about yourself, your confidence, self-esteem, your posture, your everything just builds, and you just feel better. This is why I tell people, you don't need motivation, you need momentum, you need execution. So don't wait until you feel like working out. You execute, you make the plan and you do it, and you don't think about it, because we're all gonna have feelings about not wanting to do it or not being in the mood to do it. We're not all gonna be motivated all the time. I'm certainly not, but it's part of my habits, it's part of my plan, and I just execute on it every single day. Motivation will come and motivation will go, and it helps, but it's inconsistent, so it's not reliable. Mental benefits from working out, those come immediately. The physical ones will come in time, but the mental ones, the emotional ones, those are gonna be there as soon as you're done working out. The physical stuff, that does take time, but you will see the physical transformation as well. So if you can learn to build and incorporate this into a lifestyle, so now that your lifestyle, it's about movement. You don't need a gym membership if you don't want to go to the gym to get started. You just need to commit. So here are 5 steps on how you can get started and commit to yourself starting today. Number 1, start small, take a walk, take 10 minutes of a walk. That's it. You can do that, 10 minutes of walking, right? Or do a few squats. You just need the commitment to start with this small, short workout. Schedule it like it's an appointment. This is what I do. I put it into my calendar, I schedule it in, and I do not cancel on myself. Number 3, you want to track your progress. You want to focus on strength and the gains that you've made, not necessarily just the pounds that you've lost on the scale. Number 4, you want to lift something heavy for you. That's individual, right? So that's really an individual thing. It could be dumbbells, it can be resistance bands, it could be body weight, but it's what challenges your muscles. So what I can lift is going to be something different than, what someone else can lift. What my husband can lift is far exceeding what I could probably lift. And the last one, number 5, you want to be really consistent. Not extreme. You don't want to be like an all or nothing, like I'm all at it or I'm just not doing anything at all. You just want to be very, very consistent. So if that means that you can commit to 20 minutes twice a week, that's amazing. That's fantastic. That's better than committing to 5 days a week and then the next week you do nothing. So once you start moving, this is the best part. Your body is going to start to crave it. You're going to start to really want it, and you're going to feel so alive. And lastly, I want you to imagine your future self for a minute. You're 70, 80, 90. You're walking with energy, vitality, grace. You're not that hunched over old person that you've seen, right? That can barely move and who's kind of like shuffling along. You can carry your own groceries. You can lift your suitcase up and put it in the bin in the airplane. You don't need someone to help you. You're chasing around your grandkids. You're playing on the floor with them. Look at those people who can do that now and know that you can be unstoppable. This does not happen by luck. This happens with every decision you make. So when I train now, I really think about my future self. I think about that future person that's going to continue to move and hike and lift and get on the floor with my future grandkids. And I'm going to be the person that other people are going to look at and go, well, she's 90, she's 80. She doesn't look like it. She doesn't move like it. So all the workouts and all the movement, all the things you're doing, those are deposits in your longevity account. You're buying independence, mobility, confidence, and joy. So the next time you catch yourself saying, I don't like to work out, or I'm not a workout person, or I'm not a fitness person, you need to stop. Because what you're really saying is, I don't like to be uncomfortable. But it's a choice, because you can work out and be a little uncomfortable today, or you can choose not to work out, not to build your muscles, not to build your bone density. And then your future self is going to be really uncomfortable. You're going to be uncomfortable with disease, lack of mobility, fatigue. So it's your choice. Movement is literally medicine. It builds your brain, your body, your heart, and your happiness. Start small, but start today. If you need support, I have other videos on strength training, getting your first pull-up, and beginner strength training programs, mindset shifts, so that you can get started, stay consistent to you, your goals, your future self, your present self. If this video resonated, make sure that you like, subscribe to the channel, share with someone that might benefit from this as well. And because your body is waiting for you to remember what it was designed to do, and that is move. Just move. And I will see you in the next video. Stay strong.